Welcome, guys. Welcome to today's Bitcoin and cryptocurrency news. I am George. Hopefully, you guys remembered I have my live streams at 10:30 a.m. every Friday. And those of you guys that have been watching me for a while, welcome back. Those of you guys that are new, make sure you hit the like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And I plan on putting out some good ones. I know a lot of people enjoying my video yesterday about Chainlink going to $377. I'm definitely going to talk about Chainlink today and also several altcoins because today is an altcoin rally day. Many altcoins have gone up, and talk about Dave Portnoy and his really awkward meeting with the Winklevoss twins. I want to discuss that because there's a lot of people that thinks that Dave is bring so much more attention to Bitcoin as if he was a Bitcoin savior. So let's have a good discussion about that as well. All right, guys. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the likes. And today is Friday. I choose to have these on Friday so we can have a looser and more casual conversation. And let's get going. All right. Looking at Bitcoin, $11,705, which, not too bad, right? Not too bad. Not at 12,000 yet. Yesterday, Bitcoin did make a run back up to about 11,800-ish, almost 900-ish. And today came back down a little bit, but overall, it's still doing very, very well. Peter asked, please post your sports card channel. I will in a little bit, but it's called New Era Wax, so you can search for that, but I will in a little bit during Q&A. But you can see, $11,705. That's not bad at all, and it looks like, according to my indicators, that Bitcoin's ready to move up. And I think the only reason it fell down today, honestly, just by a couple hundred points, is because that money is flowing to altcoins. Today is a good altcoin day. Many altcoins are rallying, and I'm going to show you BTC dominance dropped to a point I haven't seen. I don't even remember the last time BTC dominance was this low. And I did draw a new line, a new trend line, and you could see that Bitcoin is utilizing this. It has been utilizing this since about 2 weeks ago. And you can see Bitcoin utilize this as a support line. It is forming higher and higher lows. Over here, Bitcoin got a little weak, and that was a weird day because that was a day where gold and silver and Bitcoin sold off. Somehow there was just like a big sell-off at that point. Guess a lot of traders wanted to take some profit. But you could see since falling back down, and that wasn't even too bad. That was 11,100. Honestly, we're still above 10,500. We're nowhere close, so we're good. Bitcoin shot up again, down and up, and now you could see that it's utilizing this as a support. And with Stochastic, and I'm on a 1 hour chart, by the way. Stochastic coming to a bottom, and RSI coming to right around the midpoint 50. We could see Bitcoin start going back up. However, we'll see how long this altcoin rally lasts, right? It's usually in phases. You see Bitcoin go up and then kind of stall, and then you see altcoins go up and then it stalls, and then it just goes back and forth, right? So we'll see. But overall, Bitcoin is doing it's in a very good spot. We're nearing 12,000. We know that that's right around the corner. And once we pass that, once we stay above 11,900, it's time for Bitcoin to make another or break another previous high. And that's what we're looking for, right? So Bitcoin is a very good spot. Now, before I talk about altcoins or Dave Portnoy, let's look at the CMC really. Well, actually, backtrack. Let's talk about Dave Portnoy first because it relates to Bitcoin. So before we get into altcoin, let's talk about it. All right, so he's been like circulating around the Bitcoin world. All right, remember, Roger Ver was Bitcoin Jesus, but no one refers to him that anymore because he flipped to the dark side and he still supports Bitcoin Cash. But Dave recently said that he wants to learn about Bitcoin, and he invited the Winklevoss twins over to his house. And he originally said he wanted them to wear their skinny rowing outfits. Obviously, that didn't happen. But for me personally, I didn't know too much about him. And maybe some of you guys don't know anything about him either. So he's the founder of Barstool Sports. And it's a very popular, I guess, media show, sports talk show. I mean, it's all over, but it's basically he's in the spotlight for media for sports. So I was just doing a Google search. He turned just like a small town publication into a media sports giant, and he recently sold it for $450 million. So he's pretty wealthy, and his net worth is about $100 million. Not a billionaire, but he's pretty wealthy, and plus he has a large audience base. A lot of people know him, and he was also the person that recently came out and called out Warren Buffett, which is kind of stupid, but he's trying to make a name for himself in the investment world, where he's saying that he should be up $1 billion because he's so right on day trading, cruises, and airlines. And then he calls Warren Buffett washed up. So this caused a lot of commotion, and people started actually taking him seriously, taking his quote seriously. People start doubting whether or not Warren Buffett is washed up and whether he knows what he's doing anymore. But anyways, he invited the Winklevoss twins. They accepted, and they went over to his house. And I will post this video in the comments once I'm done, in case you guys are wondering. But this to me was just very cringy. The Winklevoss twins acted like they're just a couple bros, okay? I mean, obviously they're bros, but they acted like a couple bros that just found their information about Bitcoin on Google and read it for about 5 minutes. I mean, they just spewed out the most basic and generic things, like right off the bat. What is Bitcoin? One of the, I don't even know which twin, is saying, yeah, Bitcoin's like internet gold. Okay, elaborate. It's like, well, the best part's of gold. Think about it. Bitcoin is that, but it's internet gold. Like, he didn't explain it at all. He didn't really explain why blockchain is there, why it's important. And then, he talked about scarcity, and he made this comment how, yeah, Elon Musk is going to start, mining asteroids and make gold rain down on Earth, and it's going to be as plentiful as sand. Maybe that'll happen, but Elon Musk doesn't have any plans for that right now. He's more concentrated on Tesla and going to Mars. So it's just like all over the place. I don't know if Dave purposely wanted them to have like a real bro like conversation, but average person watching this would not be entertained or educated. So whatever. But interesting thing is, Dave to me seemed like he was more about learning how to create shitcoin so he could pump it and become a billionaire. He asked the twins several times, like, how do I create a coin? You guys want to go in business with me? I could pump this up. Even though it has no value, I could portray it has value. And he asked us several times. So it was obvious that he was more interested in creating a token, a Dave token, rather than buying and holding Bitcoin. So we'll see if he actually comes out with a Dave token or not. But that's how I saw this. I don't know. And we'll see. I mean, Dave Portnoy, obviously, he has a name for himself. If he could bring more attention to the Bitcoin space, that's definitely a positive. But hopefully his audience is not getting the same advice about, just make a quick buck, go start your own token, hopefully they kind of learn by themselves, about Bitcoin and why it's important, why it's here, all that good stuff. So we will see. But I mean, he's been making a lot of commotion recently. So just want to talk about this this for a little bit. All right, now what else is there about Bitcoin? Well, so there's an analyst. He was asked about Bitcoin, and he's like, "How can you be bearish, right?" And that's because Tether passes 12 billion. This is actually misleading. Tether itself didn't surpass 12 billion. It's actually the total combination of supply stablecoins. So Tether itself is still at 10 billion, but if you add up all the other ones, they're totaling up about 2 billion now. So in total, you got 12 billion in stablecoins. And this person argues that when you have 12 billion in stablecoins out there, that's a lot of money sitting on the sidelines. The only reason why stablecoins exist is because people park their money there, waiting for good opportunity to use it, right, to buy. So when you have that much sitting on the sidelines, that's a lot. That's a lot of stablecoins, right? And in theory, if people aren't using stable coins, they would be destroyed. You could return it for money back and get destroyed. But obviously, the exchanges keep a large amount of stable coins in case they are needed. And institutional investors, that does get into the game. If they want to use stable coins, they can. So that's the argument there, right? That stable coins are good for Bitcoin and the ecosystem as a whole. Now, there's still question marks whether or not Tether and others legitimately has this much money in the bank, but that's for another time. That's another story. But I also agree with this. I mean, there's a lot of people that is sitting on the sidelines still, right? Even with Bitcoin nearing 12,000, people still remember the days where they got burned, or they remember the days Bitcoin was at 20,000. So there's not true FOMO yet. A lot of the altcoins are pumping due to people that's been in the space for a while, but newcomers into the space, still not that much. FOMO still hasn't hit. But that's where once Bitcoin starts going up, 12, 14, 20,000, 25,000 and beyond, that's when true FOMO will hit and everyone come back into the, or newcomers come into the space, I should say. And some people that's sitting on the sidelines come back into the space as well. So it's right around the corner. It's right around the corner. And when that happens, stable coins, I guarantee you, it's go double or triple or quadruple what it is now. All right. So now let's go to altcoins. So I mentioned about BTC dominance. Look at it. 58.8%. Just last week, we were still hovering around 63%. So that's a big drop. 58.8%. I don't remember the last time it was this low, honestly. That is a very low figure. For years, we were hovering in the 60s, went up to 70s. Now it's 58.8%. So I think this shows that people think altcoin season is back. There's a lot of altcoins that are being pumped right now, and people are getting excited. They're taking money out of Bitcoin and putting them into altcoins, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. There are certainly some altcoins that has been extremely, extremely strong, way stronger than I even thought possible. But now you're seeing them in phases again, right? So for the last week or so, DeFi, especially Oracle plays like Chainlink and even Band, they were going up like crazy. So now they kind of took a breather. Not really, but I'm just going to say that for now. But now you're seeing other projects that's not in DeFi space, just protocol plays or just other plays like Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, Binance Coin, all these ones, even Tron, they're all being pumped right now, right? So it's in phases, and money is flowing into some of these big caps and also a lot of mid caps. Look at today, mostly greens today. Today is definitely a good day. Kyber's going up, basic intention coin, even BitTorrent. BitTorrent, there's something weird about BitTorrent. I just realized it jumped up on CMC, not because the coin price went up. It's because the supply just like doubled or quadrupled. That's why it's worth $500 million. So there's something weird that no one's paying attention to with BTT. But anyways, a lot of things are moving up right now. So today is definitely a good day. And at the end, during Q&A, I can go through some of the charts of these altcoins and see what they look like. But I know a few of them are nearing that resistance point before they really break up. For example, Ethereum is pretty close to that point. It's like a hard resistance it wasn't able to break. It's about to, right? And a lot of these other altcoins are facing that right now too. So right now, definitely a good time to not only be a Bitcoin holder, but also altcoin holder. So pretty good. All right, so I did notice that CMC, this is just out of the blue, CMC did introduce a new learning place, just like Coinbase and everyone else. And guess what? The very first one that they have is Band Protocol, which is interesting. And I think Band is interesting, but I did create a video a few days ago, right before the Chainlink one, right? So people, obviously, a lot of people are looking at Chainlink. They're like, it's way too high. I want to look at alternatives, right? Band is like the second biggest, and then you got other ones like DAI and DOS and all these other ones. They're still up and coming, but I looked into Band and I actually like them. So I just want to bring that up. And if you want to learn, you can learn about Band on here and actually make some money. I think it's $10 or something. It's actually something, so why not? All right, what about others? I always get asked by people, nulls, what's going on with nulls? You know, a lot of people that are still holding nulls. And I saw this, and I think once this completes, this is going to be pretty big for nulls, right? Nulls is a microservice blockchain, I would say generation 3. They've been executing. A lot of you guys know this. But they're a small cap, so they've been hovering at the same point for a long time. They haven't been able to break through. But they're working on something, you know, that allows them to do cross-chain, basically move tokens from one network to another, and you could do swaps. And they're working on it. It's called Nerve Network. So it's one of the developers from Nulls. He actually started Nerve Network. So I don't know if it's actually just an extension of Nulls or a different company. Or different project, I say. I think it is a different project, but they're tightly integrated, obviously, because the founder of it is still developing for nulls. But they're saying that this is mainly for DeFi. It could be for many different things, but they're looking at the DeFi market because this is the hottest market right now, right? So there's some concerns about DeFi right now that Ethereum's network can't handle it before they implement some kind of scaling solution. If DeFi gets too crazy, you won't be able to handle it, and that's where nulls could come in. Nulls' blockchain can, so that, you know what, potentially these DeFi projects, they can move stuff into nulls, right, and vice versa, and it just makes things a whole lot more flexible, so you're not just stuck on the Ethereum blockchain. So that is what nulls is doing. They just completed phase 1. There will be a phase 2, but once this completes, this could definitely help nulls in a big way. And there's several other things that nulls have been doing. I just picked this up because I didn't know about it. I missed it completely. And this came out a few weeks ago. So this is pretty interesting. Right now, everyone is contracting DeFi. It's kind of like an easy way for projects to get known at this point, right? I don't know if that's such a good thing because DeFi is so hot right now, so everyone wants to jump in, but there's other things that's going on that's potentially even bigger, but really no one's really paying attention. So I do think this will help nulls in the future, and it's good to see that they're still executing. Just want to educate you guys on something they're doing. All right, what else is there? VeChain, I think I'm going to create a dedicated video on VeChain because there's been a lot of stuff that's been happening. They've been moving up, but they still are not in the top 10 on CMC, which I think they should be. They just have so much going on. So the latest news for VeChain, there's 2 of them. Their partnership or their, I guess, between VeChain and Oxford, they have something going on where they're trying to spread awareness of blockchain, and they're looking at different consensus protocols, and it's like a joint scientific research kind of thing, project, let's just say. So they're expanding upon that. Oxford, you guys know, a very prestigious school. So that's always a big thing, right? Obviously, you got a lot of new students that's looking into blockchain. They're studying what's so important about blockchain, how to develop for it, and they're looking at a lot of things, right? So obviously, VeChain right in front of their face, that's good for VeChain. Also, they're entering the second phase with a Chinese natural gas giant, Shanghai Gas. They're going to look at building energy as a service ecosystem, and VeChain Thor integration will be analyzed and studies will be carried out to examine new financial opportunities in the industry. So again, every single big company in China is basically partnered up with VeChain. That's why VeChain should be much bigger than it is right now. It should be in the top 10 because it is out. It has all these amazing partnerships and it's already being used. Despite some people still throwing FUD saying, oh, look, this partnership's fake or this partnership's fake. That's all nonsense. They still remember the FUD that Chico spread years ago and they all been squashed. So I don't know. There's just some people that's still trying to spread FUD. I just don't get it. Get on the VeChain train before it's too late because once China goes full digital, they release their digital yuan and they really start pushing crypto. That's where VeChain is really going to start benefiting. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right, that's pretty much it for altcoins. I mean, overall, today is a very good altcoin day. You got a lot of things going up. Even Bitcoin is not doing bad. It's holding strong. Let's start out with Chainlink, right? Because that's the big story right now. That's the video I posted that draw a lot of views. And, you know, I'm surprised the amount of haters on that video was actually a lot less than I figured. It was actually a lot less. I thought a lot more people would chime in. And I think it's because people want to believe. And I do believe. I didn't say in there that it's going to hit $377 tomorrow. But if we do go on a 4-year cycle, right, and if we're entering the 4-year cycle, the last year of the 4-year cycle, and everything started blowing up, like Bitcoin and altcoins, and we're already seeing that right now, there's no reason to believe that Chainlink can't follow the same path as Ethereum because they are making, they're really changing the landscape, in my opinion. Of course, it's not apples. It's comparing apples and oranges. Ethereum obviously very different, but in terms of DeFi, in terms of Oracle's data collection, securing all these DeFi, I mean, it's really important, right? And there's really one player in town, and that's Chainlink. So, anyways, so they've come down a little bit from yesterday's crazy high of 1830s, 1840s, right? So I created my video. It was around like 1640 something. And then by the time I released it, it went up to 17 something, went to like 18 something. And now it came back down, which is perfectly fine. So before people are like, oh, look, it came back down. It's still higher than where it was yesterday. And it's still way higher than where it was a week ago. But Chainlink is one of those, it's like unstoppable trends right now, right? A lot of people are thinking it's just too high. You don't want to get in. I kind of think that too, but right now I'm thinking about the landscape, about DeFi, about this 4-year cycle, and I think Chainlink is going to benefit from all of them. So if you want to get in, you want to look for dips, look for good buying opportunities, and you never go all in, never FOMO all in. Right now, it's actually looking pretty good. So it did come down this morning. It was like 1640, 1650-ish. Now it's looking like it wants to come back up, but some of these indicators show that it's nearing bottom, so it could be getting ready for this next leg up, which will probably push it beyond $18 and probably head to $20 this time around. So Link definitely. Well, now it's 17. I don't think anyone should give up on Link just yet. Another one I just mentioned, Band Protocol. I think they're interesting. Once they start skyrocketing, I mean, they were on unstoppable train too until recently. They hit almost $19, which is an incredible run. Just simply incredible. And now they kind of flatline a little bit, and they're still holding around $13, $14. For me, I think Band is a really good alternative to Chainlink at this point. They're obviously, I mean, they're the second player in town, but they're not live yet. Oracles, people call them vaporware. Well, if you call a project that's not finished vaporware, well, then Cardano is too, and Cardano is worth $4 billion. So they're definitely executing, and they have a lot of things going for them. They have really good investment partners. They formed some partnership already. They're in the space, and the leaders, although young, looks promising. So if you didn't check out my video, you should. I think Band is getting ready to move up in a big way as Chainlink continues to move higher. So, and I know a lot of you guys are looking at even smaller plays. Like Band is around 200, 300 million market cap, which is a mid cap already. If some of you guys are looking at smaller plays like DAI or DOS, and there's several others that people are mentioned. I haven't really dived into them yet, but you know what? It's right now just people are just speculating, right? So be careful because a lot of the smaller ones could get pumped and dumped. So I kind of wait to see that they can actually hold the levels that they're at, right? And that kind of shows you the strength they have, the support they have, and all that good stuff. So that's Chainlink, that's Band. Let's look at a few others. And those of you guys that are tuned in, welcome. Band also has exchange listings like Coinbase and Huobi and stuff like that, and they have close relationships with Binance and several others, so they have a lot going for them. All right, let's look at another one, Ethereum. Let's look at Ethereum. Look at this. Ethereum has just broken out, and it's now heading to its next resistance point, right? So Ethereum has been doing really well as of late. So look at how many lines I've drawn, right? So these are all previous supports, now previous resistances, now turn supports, right? It was under 246 for a long time. You could see Ethereum just could not break out of there, right? Until July 22nd. So 3 weeks ago. Then it started going on a rampage. It broke through, and then it halted a little bit at 274, but not too long. Broke through. Then it just kind of hugged this 315 line, then broke through, and then you could see it was down here. It kept breaking down and utilizing this 360 mark as a support. And then look at it now. Boom. All of a sudden, it broke through. Now it's past 433. And it looks like it's going to try to touch the next one if it keeps going, and that'll be around 475. So Ethereum definitely in a good spot right now. A lot of people still excited about Ethereum 2.0, and let's face it, right? All the DeFi projects that's so hot right now, where are they running? What protocol are they running on? They're all running on Ethereum right now. So until like Nulls or others start really pushing DeFi, and some of these DeFi projects move to some of these other protocol coins, right now Ethereum is the name of the game. So Ethereum is definitely needed, and I think that this all helps Ethereum at this point, right? But ultimately, they need to scale. So we'll have to see if Vitalik and team can do that, right? Whoever Tap Foley, stop shilling ego. I don't know if you're joking or not, because there's a lot of people that started shilling e-gold, and don't do that. Just sounds like a scam, and it probably is a scam. All right, let's look at another one. Some of you guys are XRP fans, and let's look at XRP real quick. I forget which one I look at. Let's just go with Bitfinex. All right. So XRP, surprisingly, after their lawsuit was dismissed in terms of XRP being a security and how Ripple conducted the illegal security sale, you could see it shot up around 32 cents. But since then, it's been declining again. It's making lower highs and lower lows. And that's what you don't want to see right now, right? So despite the fact today is up a good amount, like 3 or 4%, it's still doing something like this, right? So we'll see. We'll see if XRP can break out of this. It looks like it wants to right now, right? It looks like it kind of broke out of this channel, but let's see if it can hold or it's going to come back down to about 27 cents and continue on and on and on, right? So right now, XRP obviously doing good compared to before, let's say a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Ultimately, it still hasn't exploded in a big way. And here's another thing that I noticed for XRP is if you draw a trend line here, let's draw something like that. It did break out of the trend line, but you could see that it did not break out or break above a previous high, which Bitcoin recently did, but XRP still has not, right? So what you want to look for is, if you're an XRP holder or XRP fan, you want to look for XRP breaking out of this channel, going up, and breaking above 34 cents. Then I would say you could categorize XRP being bullish. But until it breaks through a previous high, I think you still got to wait it out a little bit, right? Kind of like Bitcoin at 10.5. It just wouldn't break out at 10.5, and it finally did, right? That's a very, very good sign, a bullish sign. We haven't seen that yet from XRP. What else is there? What else is there? What else is on CMC that's really moving? Let's look at Tron. I don't remember the last time Tron actually went up like in a big way like this. Like Tron has been so stagnant. Whatever Justin has been doing just really has not really worked. I don't know about no. That's a bad chart to choose. Let's do a Kraken one. Yeah, this one doesn't go back far enough. We need isn't there a Binance one? There we go. This is what I want. So, kind of looks like XRP, right? It's just since 2008, it's been making lower highs and lower lows. So, excuse me. Let's draw. I don't know. Let's draw a trend line. Let's just see. So something like that. That looks about right. Let's flatten this a little bit. So lower highs, lower lows. They recently did break out. Pretty big jump right here, right? And you can see kind of like a slow V recovery over here. But just like XRP, it needs to break through a previous high. And it's looking like it's right there. It's right around 26.5, 27 cents. If it could break through this, it's looking pretty good. So it's right there, right there. I'll draw another line right here. So if it could break through that, I would say that's pretty bullish for TRX. And today and yesterday, big activity. Rather than all these small ones, big activities. Maybe Justin decided to put $1 billion into it. I don't know. But this is looking pretty good. So we'll see what Tron does. This is on a day chart. If you look at Stochastic, is still moving up. RSI is a little bit high, but it could definitely move more. So we'll see. I think if it continues, the rest of the day continues to be good, and into the weekend, you could possibly see Tron go up to 26, 27 cents. And then the question will be, can it break through there, or it will just hover below or come back down? We'll see. We'll see. All right, so what else is there? Let's look at VeChain, because VeChain is not too far back. Number 20th, VeChain should really be in the top 10. Like, it's no question in my mind, it really should be in the top 10. All right, so here's VeChain. Drew a lot of lines before. Got stuck a little bit over here. Went up, hit this first mark about 2 cents. Got stuck. You could see it tried many times to break above. And it finally did. It finally did, and guess what? Now it's utilizing that as a support, which is what you want to see. So the next point would be about 2.5 cents, somewhere around there, right? And we have to see that. And then once it gets there, then boom. If it gets to break above there, I mean, we're looking at all-time highs. Now, I know some of you guys from way back when, you're thinking, oh, you know, VeChain was in the dollars and stuff. It's nowhere close to all-time highs. Remember, there was a split. They did a split. It was like 100-to-1 split. So if you actually translate this to where it was before, it is in the dollars. It's not too far off from if it's this all-time high. So VeChain is definitely doing good. Not as good as some of the other protocols. That's why it's disappointing. They have every partnership out there. So like I said at the beginning, I'm probably going to make a dedicated video on VeChain and can just talk about everything since 2017, 2018 till now. There's a lot of developments going on, so hopefully it brings more attention to VeChain. Blade Runner says, all legit coins will go up in the end. No need to FOMO on anything if you're holding on decent ones. That's true. But I think a lot of people just don't know what's legit anymore. You know, Twitter, crypto Twitter is still very toxic. Like, I really regret going on Twitter, but it's just so toxic. And people, newcomers into the space, they don't know. They don't know any difference, right? And it's really hard to tell what's legit information and what's FUD and what's you know, what's real and what's not, right? So trying to do my part, but a lot of people just simply don't know. A lot of people always follow the price only, right? If you're a newcomer, you come in and you look at CMC, you're like, oh, this is up 50%. This has to be a good coin, right? Let me invest. But unfortunately, that's usually the the top. So though I agree with you. You got newcomers, they don't know any difference. All right, what else is there? What do I like? Some people are still supporting it. Oh, I talked about BitTorrent, and this is why I think it's suspicious here. You take a look, right? The blue line is market cap. The green is the token price. So look at what happened. Why did market cap shoot up from 83 million to 471 million, although the token price didn't really move, right? So the circulating supply went up drastically. So I don't know what just occurred here. Reported circulating supply and the actual circulating supply. So was there more that was just released and CMC didn't know about it, or there's some kind of mistake? This is why I think some people look at, oh, BitTorrent jumped up big time, 500 million. But the token price didn't. It's because the supply went up almost 50%. So be careful about BitTorrent. There's something going on. I don't know what it is yet, but I just noticed that the other day. It doesn't look like it's good. Whatever it is, it doesn't look like it's good. That's for sure. What else is there? All right, I'll turn it back to you guys. I've been talking a lot. Let's do a little bit of Q&A. If there's any interesting projects, we could take a look at it real quick. Castillo, are we officially in a bull market? I say so. I think we've been in a bull market for a while now. This bull market obviously is not as intense as 2017, but it's getting there. It's getting there. BTC, altcoins was stagnant for months and months and months. And if you look at how BTC was before in the last 4-year cycle, kind of the same thing. You gotta have patience, right? So look at this. This is BTC. You know, we had a dip, but we have a very quick recovery. We broke through 10.5, and you know, as we head into 2021, this is what it's looking like. Like slowly, probably gonna get to 20,000 by December, and then, yeah, and then you know what's gonna happen? Probably something like this. For 2021. I think 2021 is going to be a big year, but this is what's happening with Bitcoin right now. And obviously when Bitcoin's doing well, altcoins are doing well. And I think we've been in a bull market for a while now. It's just, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to see that because take a look. This was many, many months. from May all the way till end of July, where Bitcoin was just stuck, right? Didn't move, and people got tired, and they're like, ah. But now, finally, it's moving, right? It broke out of this consolidation period, and it's exciting once again. Stock to flow, still on track. I don't have that pulled up, so I can't really show you. But according to stock to flow, 2021 is when Bitcoin hits 100,000. So it aligns with the 4-year cycle, aligns with this rapid up, green arrow. So everything's looking like it's right on track. I'm trying not to FOMO into alts. I know if I do, it'll reverse and split. Trust me, everyone in the space thinks the same way. Like, I can't buy into it because it's going to go down. Trust me, I feel like that all the time too. And not just with crypto, with other investments too. That's just the way it is. That's why you just gotta play smart. Don't FOMO in. Buy the dips, right? Sprout your buys. Never FOMO in all in at once. There's just so many people that still, make the same mistakes. I still too, but you know what? You live and you learn. Pick yourself back up and learn from your mistakes. 11,781. Looks like BTC wants to run again, so it's looking good. You just got to get wrecked first, like Fight Club. That was a really good movie. That's a really, really good movie. I don't know. A lot of these old movies, they're so creative and unique. Fight Club is one of them. Now there's no movies at all, but now there's nothing really good and creative like that anymore. The movies from the 90s, 2000s, a lot of them were really creative and just good. Now it's just, it seems like people ran out of ideas. Now it's all remakes and prequels and sequels or Marvel stuff, right? And it's just different. All right, what else is there? EOS about to bust out. Well, of course I see the Last Dance, man. Of course. That was I was watching every week when I was on ESPN. EOS. Let's look at EOS. EOS is one of those that really has not, one of those cryptos that really has not moved. And it's sad because EOS was once upon a time was really, really hot. Had a large development base. A lot of people were very enthusiastic about EOS, but yeah, see, look at this. I drew this, I don't even remember when, but yeah, this is just kind of sad, right? So EOS had kind of like a Chainlink moment where they dropped to about $1.50, and some of you guys remember this, and I remember I got in. Or I bought a little more when this was on the rise. And it went from $1.50 all the way up to $9, right? And then it came back down and had kind of like another small little moment. Went back down to $1.30. Man, and that was even this year, March of this year. Wow, I did not remember EOS falling back down or flash drop back down to $1.30. But you could see it's nowhere close to the trend line right now. It needs to be at least about $4, $3.90, $4 to even hit this trend line, and then you'll see what happens, right? Because the last two times it fell down drastically. So if EOS does hit and breaks above, that would be very positive, first of all. So it has to break through this trend line, and second of all, it needs to break through a previous high, which would be around 550. So until EOS breaks through 550, I don't know. And the reason why they're not going up is just because people are still concerned about their governance, still concerned about collusion among the block producers, and I don't see or hear anything about them, right? Like Voice has been beta forever, and there seems like there's no traction with that. I don't hear much about DeFi projects coming on to EOS, right? And there's still this issue, and I don't know, developers always complain how it's too costly to develop on EOS because you need to buy RAM. And that was always a thing. I don't know if that got fixed. So there's just a lot of question marks with EOS at this point. So I guess we'll just have to see. But if it breaks through 550, so it pretty much almost has to double from where it is now, then it could be a good play. But right now, it doesn't look like it. I just had ETH's chart up. This is not the one. I just had this up, so maybe some of you guys missed it. But the next point, it did break through 433, which is a good thing. The next point will be about 478. And then after that, it starts climbing really fast. Okay, so you could look at these lines. These were all taken from here, back around mid-2018. But if it could break through 480 or 475, then it starts going up really quick. Here's one at 540. Here's another one at 625. And then up here, 800. So, you know, it's looking good for ETH right now. We'll see. We'll see what it does. Again, all DeFi projects do run on Ethereum right now. And there's a lot of excitement about Ethereum 2.0 and scaling. But it's still some time off, so. When you go to Hyper, a lot of influence going there. I don't know. I still don't know who they are. Supposedly some social media that's like YouTube and TikTok and this and that. Unless they pay a ton of money, I don't think any influencers go stay on there. I did see like Altcoin Daily saying they're partying up with them and others. I don't know if Hyper paid them to go on there because these bigger YouTubers that's covering crypto, they're making tens of thousands on YouTube. There's very little reason for them to move out unless they're really fearful they'll just go get banned again. So I don't know. They didn't invite me. I don't know anything about them. We'll see when they come out how good it is. I think I found the next chain link. It's called Statera. I'm stacking up on that one. I don't know. Now that you told me, I'm going to pull it up and everyone can look at it. But maybe that's your plan all along. Yeah. These are just shitty exchanges. So, okay. I'm not going to FOMO into that for sure. How many TikTok dance videos have you made? More than I'd like to share with you, Tony. I have a hidden TikTok channel where I do dance moves, so maybe one of you guys will find it. Even Bitcoin is climbing right now. I mean, everything is good. Today is a good day, guys. Today is a good day for Bitcoin holders. Also good for altcoin holders, right? Bitcoin right around the quarter. I mean, when you zoom out like this, you could see it's just about to break through 10,900, right? When you zoom in a little bit, you see, yeah, there's a little space, but there's no doubt Bitcoin is going to break through and break above 12,000 in the near future. And then after that's 13,000, 14,000. Keep in mind, Bitcoin's getting expensive. I know a lot of you guys are concentrating on altcoins because of that reason. You're like, oh, it takes 12,000 to buy one Bitcoin. Keep in mind, you could buy fractions of Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin goes to 100,000, 200,000, and $1 million eventually, you're going to wish you had at least a fraction of a Bitcoin, right? So don't give up on Bitcoin. I know altcoins very, very enticing. Not saying don't have any altcoins, but don't give up on Bitcoin just yet either. But Bitcoin is doing well. Altcoins are doing well. I mentioned about BTC dominance. Look at it. It went down even more since the beginning of the stream. 58.7%. Very, very low. I don't even remember the last time that it was this low. So, yeah. Altcoins are doing very good. I do think that also some of you guys watch my video from yesterday, I do think Chainlink is gearing up for its next leg up. So right now, you know, while it's kind of just hovering around, right? It came down a little bit, but it's kind of hovering sideways. I do think it's getting ready to go up. Although, we'll see. We'll see. All right, anyways, I gotta go. Almost 1 hour. Hopefully you guys saw the beginning of this video where I talked about Dave Portnoy and this ridiculous education session with the Winklevoss twins, which I think they did poorly, but whatever. And I covered Bitcoin altcoins, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this. All right, guys, make sure you hit the like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and stay tuned to my other videos. I'm going to create a lot of good ones, so don't miss it. And my live stream next Friday, same time, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye. Oh, wait, I forgot. Since I talked about XRP today, I do have a very important message about XRP, so watch it before you leave.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.